जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी,
राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय गोपी जनावल्लभ गिरिवरधारी,
गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी।
जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन,
नंदन व्रज जनरंजन।
यमुना तीरावनचारी,
तीरावनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी,
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम रामा हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम रामा हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम रामा हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम रामा हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम रामा हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम रामा हरे हरे।
जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय,
गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय।
जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद,
जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद।
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद श्री डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, इस अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की, वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, मायापुर नवदीप धाम की, गंगा मैया जमुना मैया की, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की, गोलोकिर प्रेमधन हरि नाम संकीर्तन की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrutyam naranchaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu abhutreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavater uttamaslokar bhaktir bhavati naistiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29, Explanation of Devotional Service, text number 18. Can I have some light? Just for reading the 329:18. Adhyatmikanushravanam Anusravanam. Adhyatmika anusravanan Nama Sankirtanachame Arjavinaya Sangena Nirahang Kriyaya Tatha. Adhyatmikanusravanam Nama Sankirtanachame Arjanarya Sangena Nirahang Kriyaya Tatha. Adhyatmikanusravanan Nama Sankirtanachame Arjavanarya Sangena Nirahang Kriyaya Tatha. Anyone else? Mataji's?
Adhyatmikanushravanam Sankirtanachame Niraham Priyaya Tata.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. A devotee should always try to hear about spiritual matters and should always utilize his time in chanting the holy name of the Lord. His behavior should always be straightforward and simple, And although he is not envious but friendly to everyone, he should avoid the company of persons who are not spiritually advanced. Purport. In order to advance in spiritual understanding, one has to hear from authentic sources about spiritual knowledge. One can understand the reality of spiritual life by following strict regulative principles and by controlling the senses. To have control, it is necessary that one be convenient, one be non-violent and truthful, refrain from stealing, abstain from sex life, and possess only that which is absolutely necessary for keeping the body and soul together. One should not eat more than necessary. He should not collect more paraphernalia that necessary. He should not collect more paraphernalia than necessary. He should not talk unnecessarily with common man, and he should not follow the rules and regulations without purpose. He should follow the rules and regulations so that he may actually make advancement. There are 18 qualifications mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, among which is simplicity. One should be without pride. One should not demand unnecessary respect from others. And one should be non-violent. Amanitvam, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa. One should be very tolerant and simple. One should accept the spiritual master and one should control the senses. These are mentioned here and in Bhagavad Gita as well. One should hear from authentic sources how to advance in spiritual life. Such instructions should be taken from the Acharya and should be assimilated. It is especially mentioned here, Nama Sankirtanancha. One should chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, either individually or with others. Lord Chaitanya has given special stress to chanting of these holy names of the Lord as the basic principle of spiritual advancement. Another word used here is arjavena, meaning without diplomacy. A devotee should not make plans out of self-interest. Of course, preachers sometimes have to make some plan to execute the mission of the Lord under proper guidance. But regarding personal self-interest, a devotee should always be without diplomacy. And he should avoid the company of persons who are not advancing in spiritual life. Another word is Arya. Aryans are persons who are advancing in knowledge of Krishna consciousness as well as in the material prosperity. The difference between the Aryan and non-Aryans, the Sura and Asuras, is in their standard of spiritual advancement. The difference is in their standard of spiritual advancement. Association with persons who are not spiritually advanced is forbidden. Lord Chaitanya advised Asatsanga Tyaga. One should avoid persons who are attached to the temporary. Asat is one who is too materially attached, who is not a devotee of the Lord, and who is too attached to women or enjoyable material things. Such a person, according to Vaishnava philosophy, is non-grata. A devotee should not be proud of his acquisitions. The symptom of a devotee are meekness and humility. Although spiritually very advanced, he will always remain meek and humble, as Kaviraj Goswami and other Vaishnavas have taught us by personal example. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that one should be humbler than the grass on the street and more tolerant than the tree. One should not be proud or falsely puffed up. In this way, one will surely advance in spiritual life. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lalita Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is a very beautiful verse. Actually, the time is not enough to explain everything. We can have a 1 month seminar on this one purport. So beautiful. All the aspects of devotional service are mentioned, and how we can progress in devotional service is mentioned by Kapil Dev. So Krishna, as a original personality of Godhead, supreme personality of Godhead, he gave Bhagavad Gita. But through many of his incarnations, this Kapil Dev is one of his. So he's giving the details of bhakti. Krishna says, become a devotee. How to become devotee? He's giving his details. Of course, he has told to Uddhava also how to become a devotee, what a devotee means and what a devotee should do. So he's doing that as a Shaktavesh, Kapila Muni, as bhakti. He's teaching to his mother. And another way, Rishabdev also we can see, and Prithu Maharaj also. So through incarnations or expansions, and sometimes through acharyas like Madhva, Ramanuja, Srila Prabhupada. And he gives many details about devotional service. Because it is just anyone can say, I am a devotee. But what does that mean? So Krishna himself explains, so there is no confusion. Right? So we can see Prabhupada has given exactly everything that Krishna has given. He don't speak anything. He explains in his own word. So that's what the preacher or devotees are. They explain in their own words, but the devotional aspect is related to the scripture. So here it said devotees should always try to hear about spiritual matters and should always utilize his time in chanting the holy name of the Lord. So see how devotees are also same thing they say. Exactly Tukaram Maharaj says in the same Abhanga. Now Satyasar Prabhu has a great desire to hear about more and more Tukaram as long as I am here. So I'll try to quote some. He said, Gita Bhagavata Kariti Sravanam Akhanda Chintana Vithovache. So what does it mean? That always we should hear these two scriptures, Gita and Bhagavat. There is no need to read any other scriptures. And what is the result of it? Akhanda Chintana Vithovache. Always think about Krishna. Always think about Krishna. And these two books will always automatically will make you to think about Krishna. One is the instruction and another is examples. So, Bhagavad Gita is the instructions of Krishna and Bhagavatam are the examples of the devotees who are practicing that knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, right from Parikshit Maharaj all the way to the gopis. So in each and everybody's life, and sometimes they are two contradictory examples are also there in Bhagavatam. So they're not contradiction, they are to accommodate and facilitate and encourage everybody, inspire everybody. Like there is a Ajamila who was very sinful at the time of the death. He chants the name of Narayan, and he is allowed to go back home, back to Godhead. There is contrary example is King Bharat. Whole life he is a devotee. At the time of death, he sees a deer. So see how these are all contradictory examples are there. But still, both of them they encouraged. Correct. Some devotees are their lifestyle is like some people are lifestyle is so sinful. So it is not that you commit sinful activities and then chant Hare Krishna. No. He said, even if you are, so that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, even if you consider Arjuna, you're most of the sinful person, but still, you can, perform the devotional service to encourage that. Similarly, to show the dangers on the path of Krishna consciousness, how careful we have to be, not to be, even at the time of death, just a little distraction, how it can take away our consciousness. So both the examples are there, correct? So this is how Krishna himself is teaching through all the, then what should be the consciousness of a person, those who is about to die. This is Parikshit Maharaj. How well he managed his attachment, correct, even though he was a king, what he didn't have, everything. Same Kapil Muni is explaining in another verse that what things keep us attached in this material world. He said that Atmajaya Sutagara Pasu Dravina Bandhushu. These are the things they keep us attached in this material world. Atmaja means Atma is self, Ja is wife. Atmaja, body and wife. Atmajaya. So when there is a wife and a husband, then there is a Suta. There has to be kids. So Atmajaya Suta. And when you have wife, children, then you have to have Agara, house or estate. Right? Atmajaya Sutagara. And when you have estate and your wife, you need a transportation also because you cannot just sit in home, correct? So Atmajaya Suta Agara Pashu. Previously in the Vedic culture, Pashus were like horses and camels and this kind of their transportation. Now there is a BMW, Tesla, correct? Atmaja. You have to have car in America at least. You cannot live without it, correct? Even if you want to, you cannot because there is no buses, no trains. So you have to go to work or you have to go to shopping. Pashu. So that automatically comes. See how that is why 3 means expansion, correct? Hare Krishna, sorry. How it just because of 1 3, how it expanding, correct? 3, Sutta, Agara, Pashu. And you have to maintain all this Dravina. You have to have money. You cannot maintain all these things. Pashu Dravina. And when you have money, Bandhushu, many friends are there. Correct? So this is what entangles. Pashu Dravina Bandhushu. Now this is what Kapil Muni is saying. These are the things entangles you in this material world. So Parikshit Maharaj is a story, how even though he has all the same things and one more than that. It's the same first line is there. Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami is glorifying. He said, Atmajaya Sutagara Pashu Dravina Bandhushu. This is the first line is the same. It's the Bhagavatam. The second line, he also have more. Rajya. He was the king of the whole world. Rajya. So how he gave up all these things. So we learned from Parikshit Maharaj. Avikale, without any disturbance. He gave up all these things. It is not easy. Kapil Dev is explaining to Devahuti, these things are very difficult to give up. But here is Parikshit Maharaj, who is the first example in Bhagavatam. Right? Here's the story of Parikshit Maharaj. Avikale, without disturbance, how he gave up. How? Virudha Mamata Juho, because of his deep love for Krishna in his heart. So that's the solution. Deep love for Krishna in his heart. So even if you have all these things, your most important thing is you can have all these things. Deep love for Krishna has to develop in your heart simultaneously. Then you are not disturbed at the time of death. So why he went to listen to Bhagavatam? at the end of his life because he was reading every day. It is not that Parikshit Maharaj decided at the end of life, oh, let me go and listen to Shukdev Goswami. No. It is not that he just that time, the first time he is listening. From his very childhood, he is connected to Krishna. Right? Very childhood, he is connected. So he was listening to Krishna Katha. Of course, he comes in the dynasty of Arjuna and Yudhishthira. And of course, there Krishna is kind of a distant relative. So that is not he is attached. He is attached because he knows he is the supreme personality of Godhead. So that is, he was constantly hearing. That made him to realize the importance of Bhagavatam. At the time of death, even we have seen in our own life how when devotees are leaving their body, what they do, passing of Bhishmadev or passing of Haridas Thakur. We read this kind of kathas. Many devotees we go to sometimes when they are leaving their bodies. What do we do? Kirtan, because that is what is required at that time. So that is why every day, Nityam Bhagavata Seva. It is not that you just once in a while pick up the book Bhagavatam. No, Tukaram Maharaj says, just like you eat food for sustenance 3 times, sometimes 5 times in a day, sometimes all the time. Why? Because that sustains your body. But your real body is Atma. Correct? You can fast for this thing, but don't fast for Atma level. And what is the food for Atma? Hearing Katha and chanting the holy name. These are the 2 things. Not even Prasad. Prasad comes later. If you do these 2 things, then Prasad you will appreciate. The most important thing for Atma is only 2, hearing and chanting. There is nothing else. For bodily platform, you can fast. You can fast for a day, 2 days, you can do 7 days, 15 days, 1 month, doesn't matter. But don't fast for chanting and hearing. You cannot fast for it. There is no. You will come starve and die. Even if for a single moment, if you forget Krishna, it's dangerous. It can take you, correct? So that's why he says that there is one Abhanga, Tukaram Maharaj says that Krishna, please don't let me forget you. Is na vazava kshana ekavaya. Right? Apule vismarana hechi amma marana. So what is Tukaram is saying? Ki forgetfulness of you is more painful than death. How many of you have realized that? When you don't chant, how you feel? Huh? How you feel? You feel that you are dying? No. So we are not yet attached to the holy name. He said forgetfulness, correct? Forgetfulness of you. It feels like worse, painful for me than death. Therefore, Hey Krishna, na vazava kshana ekavaya. Please bless me that I will never forget you, even for a fraction of a second. That is a devotee. That's a devotee. Fraction of a second. Na vazava kshana ekavaya. And that's also the symptom of a pure devotee. Correct? He never wastes his single moment. And that is why Prabhupada is writing here, not chanting and hearing. Correct? So, why we have to hear Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita? That Bhagavatam explains that. Correct? See, in Kali Yuga, our mind, correct, as when Krishna left this world, is Krishne Swadhopadhama Pagate Dharma Jnana Adivi Saha Kalau Nashta Drushamesho Purana Arko Vidhunata. So, when Krishna left for Golok Vrindavan, the whole world has completely taken over by Kali Yuga. Even though Kali Yuga entered at the time of Parikshit Maharaj, it was not that much affected. But as soon as Krishna left, it is Kalau Nashta Drusha Nesha. People in Kali Yuga have lost their vision. Therefore, they have to read Bhagavatam. The Kalau Nashta Drusha Mesho. People in Kali Yuga have lost their vision. Although we may have 2020 clear vision to see everything, but we have lost our vision. Kalau Nashta Drusha Mesho. Purana Arko. This is the compilation of all the instruction about spiritual life, about bhakti. So you don't have to go back and read all the Puranas and Vedas and Ishopanishad. Nothing. Every Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyate Tadrasamruta Truptasya Nanyatrasyat Ratik Kvachit. almost at the end. This is the glory of Bhagavatam by Shukdev Goswami. He said that Sarva Vedanta Saram hi. You don't need to read any Vedas. Vedanta, the end of all these, the sense of all the Vedic literature you will find in Bhagavatam. Tadrasamrita Truptasya. One who is completely satisfied by Bhagavatam, no, he will never look for anything outside Bhagavatam. Tadrasamrita Truptasya. Nanyatra syad rati kvachit. Even if he have little bit attachment to Bhagavatam, he will not read any other literature. He will not read. Everything is there for Bhagavatam. So that is why Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. We have to make an effort. Every day we have to read at least one verse from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And of course, our Guru lectures are there. So why? Because that will help us to remember. So even in Mangalarti, we say that Dhayans Tuvam Stasya Yashas Tri Sandhyam. Minimum 3 times we should remember our Guru. Minimum 3 times. Why only 1 time in the morning? It is enough, right? 3 times. Many people, even we also used to argue the same thing. I do puja and everything, The whole day what happens? We forget Krishna, right? Kali Yuga is very dangerous. So therefore, we have to remind ourselves the Guru instructions of Guru 3 times in a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. Correct? So those who are Brahmanas, they chant the Guru Gayatri and also Gauranga Gayatri, this kind of 3 times a day. So what is remembering Guru? Remembering the Guru is not like his personality. Remembering Guru means remembering his instructions. And what is the primary and most important instructions? Always think of Krishna and always chant Hare Krishna. Simple. Correct? So, smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismartavyana jatuchit. So always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is the instruction of Guru. And how you will remember Krishna? There are only some by reading Bhagavatam, by hearing from Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna. That is the only way in this world to remember. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he said the same thing when Raghunath Das Goswami, he came to Jagannath Puri. And now he is standing in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what instruction Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving? That's what Prabhupada is writing in his purport. Bhalana khaibe ar bhalana paribe. Right? Do not eat opulent food. Correct? So if Sunday feast, every Sunday feast, if you give khichdi, what people will come? No. So we eat opulent food and we give it. But we should not be attached to that. We should not be attached to that. Correct? So when I was a temple president of Pune, at that time, people were just coming to eat the feast. Right? They will come just to eat the feast. Because the temple was in debt for at that time in the 90s, about 2 lakh rupees. And we didn't have money, but these are all life members, they were coming, So it is, they're thinking that if you don't give opulent food, nobody will come. But they were coming for years and nobody was becoming a devotee. So I decided that every Sunday we'll make just khichdi. Those who are devotees, they will come because they don't come here to eat. Correct? They come here to hear katha. Right? So, 1 month, the devotee, they complained to the GBC, Gopal Krishna Maharaj. And Gopal Krishna Maharaj said, well done. So this is the encouragement. I said, yes. I told why I am doing this. Because people are coming just to eat the food. So those who are coming for eating the food, we don't come here to eat the food. The more important food is Bhagavad Katha and chanting. So this feast and all these things is meant for encouraging people. Otherwise, nobody will come. Why we want a temple? We can sit under a tree and talk about Bhagavatam, but people will not come. So devotees, when we are advancing, so we should not be attached to these things. Slowly, we should understand. Eating should not be opulent. We should have a simple food, as simple as we can. And Prabhupada mentioned as easily we can. Now, our main focus is spiritual life. And as easily you can, according to your capacity, your strength or intelligence, you work, 8 hours, you work whatever easily. You don't have to work so hard, so stressful. Because spiritual means, if you have to practice spirituality, your mind has to be peaceful. That is the first requirement. If your mind is stressed, too much working about money and prestige and so many things in the world, you will never be able to hear properly, because here you are learning the humility. And outside world, there is a, you have to become material prosperous means controlling. Completely opposite. When you go outside world, controlling is, we learn and we have to. But when you come to temple, humility, sometimes the devotee have to be duplicitous externally. Externally, you go into the material world, you cannot say that, I am so humble, you can do whatever you want. You have to stand for your position. But humility is inside, like Arjuna. Why is doing that for? When you come home, you should be so humble. Like Pratap Rudra's is an example. He was a warrior. It is said that he never lost any war. But in front of Chaitanya or Vaishnavas, he was crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not giving him darshan. So this is it looks like a split personality. Correct? Outside he's showing that he's a big king, but here he comes and takes a jadu, he takes a broom. So that is not an external. That is what he is. But he is doing whatever is required outside. But he forgets it when he leaves that place. When he comes to the devotees, we are simple. We are no one. We are the Gopir Bharatur Padakamlori or Das Das Anukas. This is what Prabhupada explains, that humility. Outside world we may be anybody, we don't care. But when you come to temple, we're just the servant of the servant of the servant. So Bhalana Paribo should not wear opulent clothes. That's why ours is so simple. Dhoti, kurta. Sometimes devotees, they wear only white. So no choice. Correct? So sometimes the devotee wear, it's like I wear the clothes which are given to me by people. I don't consider the color. Whether it is color, that's fine. No color, that's fine. Because, we are like simple. We are depending on what your Krishna is providing. We don't add particular this kind of cloth, particular that kind of cloth. No. Even devotees have a competition, my dhoti is silken, his dhoti is something. What does it matter whether you wear a silk dhoti or whether you wear a cotton dhoti or a jute silk? What does it matter? So simplicity is most important. What does this simplicity? We don't compete with other people. Why people are not simple outside? Because they want to be the better than other. So there is no end. You see, go to the marriages, sometimes you go to relatives' marriages. You see what they are competing. I have to be the best among all the crowd. I have to be the best. So there is no simplicity. There is a duplicity. They are trying to show what they are not. So devotees also go to that marriage with nice attire. Why they go? It is not because they are attached to that dress. It is just to go into them and show them how even in this dress you can be a devotee. And Prabhupada, first time when he came to India, he told all his devotees, correct, wear boot and tie and shirt. You can see the picture, Prabhupada is coming at the airport. It's in Prabhupada Lilamrut. He said people should know that no matter what's your profession, color, dress doesn't matter. You can be a humble person in any dress. In heart is more important than what you are showing off. Outside world is just showing off. Heart is empty. Right? So devotee's heart is, as Parikshit Maharaj, Virudha Mamata Jaho. Love for Krishna is there in their heart. So therefore, they can live in any condition. Prabhupada says that devotee means he should be ready to live in any condition. No condition. Devotees has no condition. Only his conditions, he wants suitable positions to chant Hare Krishna and hear Bhagavatam. Rest all doesn't matter. Correct? And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati used to say that even if the whole world has nothing, no food, no books, no shelter, nothing, everything is taken away, till the devotee can survive. Everything is taken away from him. It's so simple. He can survive. How? Because he has a holy name and the message of the Lord. You don't need anything in this world to survive. You can survive like that. Or sometimes the devotee, I was just coming from Atlanta to Dallas. Our flight was like 10 hours delayed. Everybody was so frustrated. They're cursing the airlines and everything. And I said, wow, what Prabhupada has given me, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Like I was seeing the frustration of all the people around and how they are like mad and going and arguing in the counter. I just was sitting there, I was reading Bhagavatam and chanting Hare Krishna for 10 hours. I was thinking how Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj is so merciful. He has given me lifetime business. Doesn't matter whether we have everything, you don't have anything. So this is, you're not worried about, 10 is, flight is late or not. Take out Bhagavatam, start reading, correct? One time in India also, we were going for somewhere program. Our train was stuck in a rain for like 2 days. And we were all devotees inside. One of our devotee, Krishnanand Prabhu, he just read all the scriptures, full. Chaitanya Charitamrita, where all devotees, all people are like frustrated and now they are running around here, there, food, that. We devotees are like 50, 60 devotees. We got together, just did Kirtan and Bhagavatam. Literally, it was Nirjal fasting because there was no food and there is no water because we were surrounded by like a flood around. Even the people in the railway, they didn't cook food with all, they cook nonsense. So practically we fasted for 24 hours. But we are not so happy. We're reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, all Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Krishna Prabhu is like, if he comes here, you'll see he's so much attached to Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's practically, Chaitanya Charitamrita, he's like whole by heart. He was telling, and we were like so much in ecstasy. People were like frustrated, running around, cursing people, calling on, so many things. So that is what devotee required, simple life. He can live without anything, but he cannot live without hearing and chanting. He cannot live without that. That is how much that is important. All frustrations will go away. Just take a Bhagavatam. Just take a Bhagavatam. Because chanting, because if you are attached to chanting, all frustrations will go away. But if you are frustrated and take chanting, mind will be more frustrated. You know why? Because you are not that much attached to chanting it. Of course, I'm not saying about me. But read Bhagavatam in any situation. And that will bring your mind to chanting. That will bring your mind to chanting. Therefore, it's the system in our temple, many temples, we read something about holy name before we start chanting. We are so fortunate, Radhesham Prabhu, he gives beautiful, tips before which wherever he goes, he does that. I don't know if he did it here. So whenever we chant in the temple, if he's there, he talks about 2-3 minutes from the scriptures. Beautiful. The way he explains is so beautiful. So what is that? To encourage you to chant. So we need book, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and guidance from the senior Vaishnavas to attract our mind to holy name. So that is possible by simplicity. And next important thing, Prabhupada talks about association. You cannot do that, Can you go to office and chant Hare Krishna? Can you go to office and read Bhagavatam? No, they don't want to read it, they don't want to chant. So that's why you have to associate. So that's why Prabhupada writes, we should not associate with non-devotees. So what that means, non-devotees? Now whole day we are with non-devotees, correct? We are more with non-devotees than devotees. Devotees we have, like, of course, in our house, our wives, kids are there, deities is there. That protection is there. Once in a, we come for programs and temple, So that protection is there. But literally, when you go out, there is no association. So how we should always stay in the association. So whatever association we get in our, wherever we are with devotees, their instruction is the association when we are outside. Just like when doctor gives a medicine, he don't come and stay in your house. His instruction with the medicine, that will protect you from the disease. So therefore, the same way, the medicine that Srila Prabhupada has given, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, the scripture is giving, the holy name, that's the medicine. You can be in any situation, you chant internally. No problem. You see, our Russian devotees, they were imprisoned, they were imprisoned because they were chanting and they were distributing books, and they took away their bead bags. But they didn't give up chanting. What they will do, there is a beautiful book called Salted Butter or something like that. So what they will do, they will give them bread to eat. So they will make beads from bread, and they will chant Hare Krishna. At least we eat nice prasadam. We don't have to make beads from bread, right? So they used to make the bread as beads and then chant Hare Krishna. So that is the first batch in Russia. And then they survived and then they came out. They are the first one to preach. Mandakini Mataji revealed that one time she was in our yatra. So this is how they chanted. That much faith. They didn't have even all Bhagavatam set or Nectar of Devotion or Ishropanishad or Bhagavad Gita to read. It was banned. Just Prabhupada's one meeting with one devotee and he's preaching with Xerox somewhere hiding, make a Xerox copy of something. And that gave them so much strength in the prison. And this Mandakini Mataji was pregnant and she was put into prison. So and they took away everything, but they survived. How? Chanting and association and instruction with one meeting of Prabhupada they got. One meeting of Prabhupada. Now we have videos and their representatives like our Guru Maharaj, they are preaching so much examples. We are free, we can chant. That's why we don't have value. Because it's so easy. So therefore, we should do tapasya on our own. That is why the Ekadashi is there. So that gives you a chance to focus more on chanting and reading than food. But we are more expert. We have found out so many Ekadashi dishes. The point is not, Ekadashi is not, be simple, as at least one day or 15 days. But we are expert, okay, you can do that. That's not a problem. But our focus should be chanting and hearing on Ekadashis and festival days, not what kind of food I am going to get, So, in the association of devotees, that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that we should not associate with Vishayi. Vishayi means those who are attracted to woman and money. These are the two things in the world people are attracted to. And that is the main distraction in spiritual life. Correct? You can be attracted to woman in the service of Krishna. You cannot live without attraction, But what is that attraction? That's attraction of the soul. Attraction of the soul. So His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj explains in one of the book, his book. So when he came to India, that one old beggar lady came to him. And she was like a very, very distorted and she was like old. But Maharaj said, this is the most beautiful woman I ever saw. Why is that? Because the beauty is within. Beauty is within, not outside. So don't look at outside beauty. Vishayi means outside beauty. Spiritual means inside beauty. And how you can appreciate that inside beauty, even with your wife, your kids, your relatives, your friends, that is if you know internal beauty. What is keeping them beautiful? That attachment we have to develop, not the external. So that is only possible in the association of devotees. So therefore, never to give up any association. No. That is the reason Prabhupada is explaining here. So we should not associate with Vishayi people. So, and another thing, devotee is straightforward. What is that straightforward? Sometimes straightforward doesn't mean you are arrogant about what you think about. Straightforward means he don't talk anything of his own. He says whatever Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, even in his dealings. Correct? He's straightforward. Like sometimes we have to mix with karmi people, materialistic people. We are straightforward. So what does that mean? We don't eat onion and garlic. But that is straightforward. We don't drink tea, coffee. That is straightforward. But there is a way to explain that. We should not explain that thinking that I am better than you. It is straightforward. Hey, we don't eat onion and garlic. That's Maya. That's nonsense, So we should be humble enough to explain why we do what we do. So that's why Prabhupada explains we should try to understand what we are doing and why you are doing. We should understand everything. Any process of devotional service, why we are doing. Otherwise, it becomes a blind faith or blind following. So everything we do, most of the things have explanation in Bhagavad Gita, why we don't eat onion garlic, why we don't eat tea and coffee and intoxication. There is a reason for that. So when we go in the outside world, it's straightforward. We are fixed in our devotional service. You keep your standard and as humble possible, explain why we are like this. That is also straightforwardness. That means we practice under the guidance of Krishna and his devotees in parampara. And when we go and mix with the people, we are very straightforward. So I always give the example of Bhishma and Vidura. Correct? They are pure devotees, but they are in Kaurava's camp, wrong place. They are in wrong place. So devotees' position is like that. You know, devotees are like Vidura, who know all the niti and all the dharmas, and Bhishma, who also is a Mahajan, correct? But both of them, Krishna has placed him in such a way so that we understand how to live words with people with arrogant Duryodhana, blind Dhritarashtra, cunning Shakuni, and confused Karna. Correct? You will see this kind of people outside. Correct? And they are staying there. In fact, they are serving them. But they are not listening to them straightforward. Vidura, he accepted to leave the palace for his principle. But he stayed there just to guide Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. Bhishma, it seems that he is overly attached to Hastinapur. No, he is not attached to Hastinapur. He didn't give up, he didn't become brahmachari just to maintain the Hastinapur kingdom. No, he was concerned about the citizens. If the king is demonic, he will make the whole kingdom demonic. If the king is religious, the whole kingdom will be religious. That was the attachment. Externally look like, why Bhishma, he gave up his own marriage and did so many Mahabharata just for one, kingdom, one Hastinapur. Why he wanted, proper king there? It seems to be an external attachment. But what was his attachment? Dharma. Right? So he, the Mahajan, he was staying in the association of all the non-devotees. But he maintains his devotional. So that is how all devotees are. Like they are like Vidura and Bhishma, but they have to associate people like Duryodhana, Karna, and Dhritarashtra and Shakuni in the outside world. But how they can do? In their heart. They are always thinking about Pandavas, means devotees and Krishna. So that is how devotees' life is. So even though they go outside, they are not influenced by outside world. They are already, so much attracted and attached to Krishna. So that is the way, straightforward. So they are mixing with people, but they are straightforward about their practice of devotional service. Now, why we should be straightforward? Because the conviction is there. How many people are following in this world any authority? Their authority is their mind, correct? But we are leading our life not with the ordinary person's instruction, Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's the conviction we have. Our life is guided by Krishna himself. That is straight. Right? We are not sentimental, or we are not like, because I think chanting Hare Krishna is better, I think Krishna Prasad is better. No. Because Krishna has guided for every detail of our life. Every detail of our life. So that is why we are under protection. So those who are under protection and experiencing that protection through the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas, then in the outside world he is straightforward. Right? They also think they are straightforward. They are trying to convince how sense gratification is the must. They are also straightforward, but they are in illusion. Correct? They have no guidance. Confused, like Karna, he's a very good person, but he's in the wrong party. Correct? He can see he's better than Arjuna in all the aspects, but he is with Duryodhana. Why is that? Ego. Because I didn't get what I want. So he went to the other camp. That is only one thing. So therefore, straightforwardness, devotees are straightforward. And if you are simple, you can be straightforward. Like Chanakya Pandit, he is so straightforward, he can tell anything to anybody because he is not attached. Even to the king, he can give advice. And king were humble before. Hmm? They used to take advice from a Brahmana. So Chanakya Pandit, there is a story that when he used to do the office work like a Raja, he has a different lamp, correct? He used to burn it from the government money. But after the government job, he will set up that lamp and he will have his own lamp. He was so particular. So even the king cannot blame him that you are using people's property. That spotless character, simple. That was his simple. So our character should be such that nobody should point out. Nobody should point out. That's why it's a simple life. If you have simple, there is nothing to point out. Right? Even if they point out, that's their vision. Like devotees are ajata shatrava. They have no enemies. Then why Yudhishthir had so many enemies? How to understand that? Ajata shatrava, devotee have no enemy. The meaning is Yudhishthir didn't consider anybody as enemies. That is ajata shatrava. Even though they are enemies, but he don't consider them enemies. Yudhishthir don't wanted kingdom. He was telling Krishna, no, I don't want, but let them have the kingdom. But Arjuna said, again, Krishna said, why? Because if Duryodhana become king, everything is spoiled. Therefore, they wanted Yudhishthira, because he is a Dharmatma. So Krishna is also why on the side of Pandavas? Because he is Dharmatma. They are practicing the religious principles. Krishna would not have care for like a land or something. Both Bhishma and Krishna seems to be very attached and they are favoring Pandavas. It looks like that. But Krishna was not favoring Pandavas. Krishna was favoring the Vaishnava, the citizens of Hastinapur. So therefore, the devotee's life is very simple. Vidura was so simple. Bhishma is so simple. Correct? Even though they were big position, they were the advisors. Correct? So simplicity, no duplicity. A devotee's life is what they speak. So no matter how we are, but we should be very simple. What is simple? Minimum possible, Prabhupada says. Minimum possible for body. Minimum possible. Eat as much required. No overeating. Atyahara prayasasya prajalpo niyamagra. These are the simplicity. Now eat as much as less as possible, simply to maintain body. That's what it is. Wear clothes simply to close your body. Simple. These are the two things we require. Okay? This is a simplicity. And what is the simplicity of heart? Not to be attached to anything, in spite of having everything. That is why Krishna explains the devotees are Padma Patra Ivambasa. They live in the world, but they are not of this world. They are simple in their heart. Even if everything is taken away at any moment, they are not affected, like Parikshit Maharaj. That's the simplicity. He was simple in heart. Others are complicated because so many things they collect and they become attached to that. So the same thing that gives an attachment, the same thing can be when used in Krishna's service, avikale, without disturbance. So that is a practice Prabhupada is talking. It should be straightforward and simple. And although he is not envious of anybody, so devotee is not envious. Tukaram Maharaj says, Konahi jivacha na gado matsara. That means he was praying, Krishna, please, give me such a consciousness that I will not hate anybody. I will not hate anybody. Even enemy. That was the Yudhishthir. Ajata Shatrava Shanta, Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. He is Ajat Shatru. He didn't hate Duryodhana. Arjuna didn't hate. Nobody, they didn't hate anybody. But because Krishna is telling them what is simplicity, they have to kill their own guru. They have to kill his relatives. Now that is also he is ready to do. That is because of most important is practicing dharma. So they were not envious when they killed. That's why you can see the heart of Yudhishthira after the war. He goes to Bhishma, I have killed so many people. I have incurred so much sin. They are not happy that I killed. It's not that they got some kind of an award or something and they went to get an award. Oh, you killed all the Bhishma, Drona, Karna and Duryodhana. So now you are awarded. Let us have a big ceremony. That victory we will celebrate. They didn't do that. They have pain in their heart. I have to do all these things. So they are going to Bhishma and then Bhishma is giving them instructions in front of Krishna. So even if you have to do something which is kind of that time also your heart should be painful, That's why Tukaram Maharaj said to preachers, what is his heart? He says that why the beautiful Tukaram has a beautiful abhangas about how is the heart of a preacher. He says that Jagatri Amma Deva. He says every living entity is Krishna for me, no matter what. Whether it's a dog or hog or envious person, doesn't matter. That is a Brahmana. What is it? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Brahmana's quality. Brahmana Gavi Hastani. Sunicheva Supakej. Pandita Samadarshana. That is Pandita Samadarshana. He's non-envious. Correct? He don't consider anybody as an enemy. So Tukaram Maharaj says, no. The Jagatari Amma Deva. So everybody is Krishna's part and parcel, Mamai Vamsho. Parinindito Swabhava, I criticize their behavior. Why I criticize their behavior? Not because I am better. I want you to make better. That compassion is there. So he says, Parinindito Swabhava. Why? Yeto hitacha kalvada. Because I am concerned. Because I am concerned. What is his concern? What is the preacher's concern? He said, Budati he jana pahave na dola. He said, I cannot see these people are drowning in the ocean of birth, old age, disease and death, Bhavasagar. How I can see that? That's why I feel compassion. I cannot stop. I go and talk to them. I go and tell them about how Krishna is your well-wisher. How Krishna is taking care of you. Don't waste your human life. So it is not that I am better. It is a compassion. So it's a straightforward also and non-envious also. So we are friendly with the people, but sticking to our principle. We don't, when you go to your friends, we don't do what they want. Correct? You can go to your friends, but why we go there? To preach. You can go to any parties, your friends, and go anywhere to preach Krishna consciousness. Nityananda Prabhu used to go even in the brothels and beer bars. There is no way. Correct? Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, even if you see Nityananda going into a bar, don't be confused. Correct? Why? Because he's with envious people. He is with all people. But, what is he doing? He wants to give Krishna consciousness. He wants to give Krishna consciousness. So, you will give Krishna consciousness if you have it. If you don't have, how are you going to give? You get influenced by them. So we should be full. Our heart is full, our mind is full, our intelligence is full, no ego. Then you can go anywhere in the world, Vaishnava is not affected. So these are some of the qualities, as I said. I don't know what time it is. Yeah. So I'll stop here. We can have a whole seminar for 1 month on this. Each line of Prabhupada's words are so potent and powerful. Each line can be discussed for hours. Right? So thank you. I'll stop here. I don't have any. Oh, it seems to be like I spoke for an hour, so that is okay.
Thank you very much for the brilliant class, Prabhu. Would you take some questions?
Yes, if you have time, I am whole day here.
Yeah.
You people have to go and fight the war. I am.
We have some time. Devotees, do you have any questions?
It's so amazing. Monday morning, so many devotees are here for Bhagavatam. My God. It's like having 60,000 or 80,000 sadhus listening Bhagavatam in Naimisharanya. Yeah, it's amazing to see morning Bhagavatam, so many devotees. We are so sincere. That's why I said one of my favorite traveling places is Austin, because he's so simple, so simple-hearted person. Very, very nice. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. I was just curious about, you mentioned about Bhishma Deva being present even in the Kauravas, but he was there to uphold Dharma. So when he was against Pandavas, while he was fighting against Arjuna, why didn't he give up the war? Like, he could have just come out of it. He knows that they are the ones who would be upholding Dharma. So why he didn't just leave it? Because even if they come, they would just be given the path to the right place.
Yeah. In fact, Bhishma Dev only is the one before beginning of the war, he's announcing that if anybody wants to change the party, please join, please change it. Correct? That only one person from all the Kauravas, Yudhsava, I think, he changes the party. He's announcing to change the party. Why he didn't change the party? Correct? Why he didn't change the party? Now that's all. Acharya says that even though you are a warrior like Bhishma, even though, correct, you will not be protected. And other thing is, Bhishma wanted to be in front of Krishna. In front of Krishna. And these are the two reasons Acharyas give. So we just accept that. Correct? So, same way, why you know everything, why you go and work? Why you go and work with them? To show others that in spite of working with demons, still you can chant Hare Krishna. So Krishna has made you in the position of Bhishma. And you don't want to. Do you really want to? No. Correct? How many of you want to go outside and work? Nobody wants to, correct? But you're still on the Kauravas side, correct? Because you see Krishna in front, correct? You see Krishna in his instructions, he is with you, protection. So you are not actually with Kauravas. Bhishma's heart, that's why 10 days, just imagine, battle went on for 18 days. Bhishma he's in the opposition, but nothing is happening, nobody is killing, In fact, Kauravas they were becoming, powerful. It was thinking like 10 days, war sleeping in the houses of Pandavas. 10 days, nothing is happening. 9th day practically. Nothing is happening. Nobody is killed or anything. Because Bhishma is the commander-in-chief of Kauravas. He is protecting, because he is doing his duty properly to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. Namak haram nahi ho raha hai. Because he is taking salary from them, correct? But there is a limit. Correct? There is a limit. So Bhishma tried his best. Correct? Not to have, even in the war, not to have too much of a, killing and everything. Both were like that. And then Duryodhana ignites the fire in the heart of Bhishma. I said, because you are very kind, because you are Pandavas, you are not furious and fighting. Correct? Then Duryodhana gives him arrows. He said, these are the arrows, and you kill them. But Krishna is the Pandava's protector. He goes to sends to resist, go and get those arrows, So that is why Krishna is always protector. Right? So this is how these are all things to teach us how Krishna takes care of us. Even though you are with the Kauravas, you are under Krishna's protection. Right? Nobody wants all of you, correct? If you are given a choice, probably I can say 100% you will like to go to Vrindavan and chant Hare Krishna. Why? Even with your wife and children, okay? I'm not saying only you, if your wife said. Even if you have given choice, you would, correct? But what to do? Dravina. You need money to survive in this world. So you go outside, but in your heart, you're always thinking about Prabhupada, Krishna, Guru's instructions. Yashas Tri Sandhyam. Why only 3 times? And probably 100 times we remember outside the instructions of Guru. Correct? When you see anybody drinking, immediately, I should not drink. What is that? You're remembering Guru. When somebody is fighting in the office for position, you remember immediately Guru's instruction, be humble. Correct? Don't be attached to the position. That is how Guru is protecting you even in the outside world. Krishna is protecting you outside world. And you see how people are fighting for money. Correct? You are satisfied with whatever is given to you. Work hard for 8 hours. Good. That is the Trisutri of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. You know that? He said 24 hours Krishna has given you. 8 hours per body. Sleep, eat, take rest, whatever you want to do. Take bath. 8 hours. 8 hours work hard to maintain that body. So that is our karma. Going to office, business, whatever it is. What you do with another 8 hours, decide another 16 hours. That 8 hours, give it to understand Krishna and practice Krishna consciousness. So we have to understand where is our time going. 8 hours we have equal amount of hours to practice our Krishna consciousness. So these 8 hours will determine your 16 hours. So that is the foundation. Right? Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
So that's why That's
have
why
another
Bhishma is on the other side to teach you. Yes.
I have another follow-up question, Prabhu. So you mentioned about like our sadhana should be so good so that
Yeah.
even though we stay in that demonic kind of environment, we can still sustain. How do we develop our sadhana in such a way that when we are working, we don't have the fear of losing, or when I say losing, let's say we are working and we need to maintain the family, but we do not have the fear that tomorrow we may not have that work. Like that fear, if that exists, there is an attachment towards that work. So then how do we overcome that to know that, okay, Krishna will take care, even though I don't have that? I mean, how do we get to that mentality or that sadhana level?
Yeah. See, who is taking care of you now? Same thing, take care. Krishna is taking care of non-devotees. Why will not take care of devotees? Correct? Who is giving you air? Who is giving you water? Who is giving you food? Correct? Krishna is doing the same thing with non-devotees too. What they do? They say there is no God. Correct? Krishna is not stopping their air. So these three things are required. They will be there. Don't worry about it. You may not have a job for even whole life, doesn't matter. Prabhupada has food for life. And house to live. At least for devotees, you don't have to worry. Correct? That doesn't mean that you give up everything. But you try your best. You are going to see. Taking shelter of Krishna doesn't mean Krishna is not guaranteeing your job. He will make arrangements, minimum survival for you so that you can peacefully chant Hare Krishna and read Bhagavatam. 100% guarantee. Ananyas chintayo ma me jana purvipasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshema vahamyam. One who is chanting Hare Krishna, Ananyas chintayo, he is not depending. Correct? So I have not seen any devotee starving. Any devotee. Without job also. I have never seen anybody starving. I have seen devotees staying in temple for 6 months because they don't have job. With families. They do the service, chant Hare Krishna, read Bhagavatam, they're looking for a job, Right? One time, one devotee was there. Shyam Sundar Prabhu from Pittsburgh? He lost a job, And then I was the president of New Vrindavan at that time. So he was my friend. So he came to the temple and I asked him, oh, Shyam Sundar, what's you doing? He said, I'm sitting on a bench. And I don't know this term. What does it mean? I said, why you're sitting on a bench? There are so many benches in New Vrindavan. Come and sit in New Vrindavan on a bench, I didn't understand this. Then I said, what do you mean? They said, there are so many benches in New Vrindavan. Why don't you come and sit, And really came. He stayed in the ashram he stayed for like 4 years. He did such a wonderful service for New Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Now he has his own business, so Krishna took care of him. And Krishna he has some talents and he utilized it. But he was not afraid. He came and stayed in temple. Perfect sadhana, perfect hearing, perfect Guru Seva, Sadhu Seva, Vaishnava Seva, Deity Seva. So if you are on a bench, come and sit in a temple bench. Krishna is taking care. Krishna is taking care. And he in the beginning, he was looking for some job, but later on he stopped. He said, this is a better life, I can stay at temple, is taking care of me. Correct? So Krishna, Prabhupada is song. That's why we say, Prabhupada built a house, anybody can come and stay. Correct? So don't worry. Approach Satya Sir, Prabhu. He'll take care of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, such a wonderful class. Yeah, because we are all in the same boat. I was trying to contemplate on the question that he has asked is about the fear.
I'm also in the same boat, but my boat is small, I stay in one corner of the boat. Okay.
That's true. I mean, we are all going through the same phase. So I would just want to share what my understanding is about that is when the fear comes is like we set a standard. Okay, I need to have this much of money coming through. I need to have this kind of a lifestyle. I don't want to compromise on this lifestyle. If I lose this job, I will not be able to maintain that kind of lifestyle, which I'm used to it. So I don't want to compromise. This is a fear we have. But on the other flip side, If you lose the job, you don't know what better thing Krishna has for you. We don't know. It could be that you may be getting less money, but you may be getting more time for doing sadhana. That could be Krishna's plans for you.
Yes, yes.
That we don't know.
That is
So if we keep ourselves open, right? Whatever happened, Krishna is always thinking of my yoga kshemam. If that is there, then the fear will go away.
Yeah.
That's
So the thing is, situation is, if you are devotee and in the association of devotee, you will see better why Krishna has done what he has done in my life. Correct? There is one devotee in Belgaum. He's big industrialist, millionaire. He has a cement company. Correct? Now, when he was a devotee, we'll go and preach to him. There is no time. Somehow or other, I maintain my 16 rounds. There is no time to read and everything. So he was coming, and one day what happened? Ecstatic kirtan was going on in temple. And somehow, when he was dancing, he fell down and broke his leg. Correct? So he couldn't go to office. So I said, this is Krishna's mercy. I got a time to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam. And he probably didn't make as much money as he was supposed to do. But he said, this is the best time in my life that I am sitting in home, leg up and reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's a devotee's vision. If anything happens bad, he looks why Krishna has done it. Correct? And he finds why Krishna has given me this situation. See, ultimately, Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, everything in this world is temporary. Even if you have it today, it doesn't matter, it has tomorrow. Correct? And even if you don't have it today, it doesn't matter that you will not have anything tomorrow. And all the time Krishna is taking care. And what is that care? Krishna has given you whatever you need. He will not give you whatever you want. Whatever is needed to maintain your life and wife, Krishna has given. Enough. Right? As long as you're talking about your lifestyle. Yes. That is why devotee has to be simple. If you have it, use it. Don't have it, doesn't matter. So that's why devotees are simple. What do I need? What do I need? Food to eat, 6 feet place to sleep. That's fine. Krishna has given it. Goswamis, they give up all these things intentionally and accepted the life of sadhus. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan, they were ministers. They slept under a tree intentionally because they found more happiness in that lifestyle than they were. Right? So inside you be sadhu. It comes, take it, don't come, doesn't matter. What do you want? Correct? Yeah. So our lifestyle is chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Did you hear what I said? Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Where is it coming from? Prabhupada. Correct? Now turn other word. Be happy and chant Hare Krishna. Is it possible? It is not possible to be happy in this world. You cannot be happy, no matter. Duryodhana tried, Kamsa tried, Ravana tried, Hiranyakashipu tried to be happy in the world. Not possible. So what it means is chant Hare Krishna, whatever comes in that, be happy. But first priority is Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. Then whatever Krishna gives you, he knows better than you. Like when you're a kid, you are so dependent on father. Have you ever thought about anything? He knows my father is there, protection is there. So Krishna will take care. He's taking care of demons. Why will not take care of devotees? Okay? Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Prabhuji, one question. Yeah. So in Bhagavatam, as you mentioned, Parikshit Maharaj, he knew Bhagavatam earlier also.
Yes.
But then when he was being cursed to die in 7 days, why did he still approach the sages and everybody asking for what should I do? Even though he have heard everything in Bhagavatam, he knew what should be done. So
that is the humility. That is the humility. In fact, he knows everything. Right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to his Guru Ishwarapuri, what is he saying? He said, I'm full. I'm full, I don't know anything. Now who is saying that? God himself. Now, who is telling everybody what to do? Now he goes to Ishwarpur, he said, I am so full. And then he says, Guru more murkha dekhi korila shasan. Guru saw that I am full. And he punished me, in a good way. He said, don't worry about anything, just chant Hare Krishna. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He didn't know anything. He went. Sanatana Goswami, when he came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sanatana Goswami was considered to be the scholar at that time. And now he is coming in Varanasi, in the house of Tapan Mishra. And nobody could recognize he is a sadhu. So he sent Tapan Mishra, go outside, somebody is standing, bring him in. He said, there is nobody outside. Some beggar is standing. He said, he's not a beggar. He is a great saint. It looks like Darveshi, means like a hippie. Prabhupada translate, he looks like beard, and he said, but he is a devotee. Now that Sanatana Goswami comes inside, and he is so ashamed to go even in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what is he asking? Amike. Who am I? Who is asking this? He is a great scholar. Who am I? I don't know. Please instruct me. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing Sanatana Goswami in Varanasi. The whole, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, you can see the discussion. So this is a humility. Prabhupada said, I asked only one question to my Guru Maharaj. How can I serve you? So they know everything. That's why he is saying for our benefit. One who is about to die, what is his duty? Because he wants to show what is important. And through his life, Shukadeva Goswami, that's why he is glorifying him. Your life is like so much. That's why you came at the time of death. Correct? So even suppose, if I come to know today, first thing is I will not go to temple here, Bhagavatam. I will go to lawyer to arrange my will and property and everything. Even I am a devotee. Parikshit Maharaj didn't do that. He didn't go to lawyer for making a will. He went to Bhagavatam. That's what, I'm admitting I am not a devotee, but trying to be. He didn't do all this thing. Straightway Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami. To show what is the importance. So that time is going to come in everybody's life. Correct? But why that is important to remember that if you have practiced whole of your life, then only you can remember. Right? So that is the humility of Parikshit Maharaj. That he is showing, even if you know anything, everything. Right? So that is the blessings of the Lord. Because you know, you go there. Right? One time I was giving class in Chicago, Kishore temple. And not many, 8-10 devotees were there. And temple president didn't come. So he's Prabhupada disciple. I don't want to tell the name. So he Prabhupada disciple. So he came to me and said, Prabhuji, I'm sorry, I could not attend your Bhagavatam. I said, Prabhuji, you are Prabhupada disciple, you know everything. And you know what he said? He said, if I know everything, I should have been in a Bhagavatam class. That is everything. Correct? Of course, he was doing something temple meeting, but he considered, see, this is a feeling, I missed Bhagavatam. He was not doing any karmi. He was a full-time devotee doing temple service. He must have been busy with something temple service. Right? But still he felt necessary to share the Bhagavatam. Right? So this urgency Parikshit Maharaj is teaching, how important it is to approach a bona fide spiritual master, bona fide Bhagavatam. Correct? So that's why did he do that? Because he knew Bhagavatam. This is the only time now I have to give full attention. I'm cursed now. I'm about to die. There is no other way. Why he took the decision? Because he knew Bhagavatam is the only way. For us, he is asking questions like Parikshit Maharaj and Arjuna. They are not like they don't know. But Krishna puts them in such a condition so that we can learn Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Okay? Hare Krishna. Correct, Satyasar Prabhu? I'm just speaking in front of the great devotee here. Yes, Prabhu. There is some question there. Prabhupada said ladies are very simple. You tell them what to do and they will do it. Simple mind.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the class. I had a question around association. You mentioned that you have to go to meet friends or non-devotees place. Those are some of the things that are non-avoidable, and I actually also run into those things that I have to go, especially to meet a childhood friend, right? So when I try to preach them and whatnot, because they already have an impression of me being pre-ISKCON, so they don't take things seriously and they just take it jokingly. And I've been trying that for a long time. I'm not giving up, but is there any thoughts around that that you would like to share that will help me preach them better and whatnot, and try to take out the pre-ISKCON impression from their mind, of mine, kind of thing. And
What is your pre-ISKCON or his pre-ISKCON?
means how I was before ISKCON. So they had certain impression while we grew up, we were different and all those kind of stuff and whatnot.
One thing is there, it is very difficult to preach to friends and relatives, correct? Because they know your history. Correct? You can go better outside and preach for simple candidate. Okay. Now, according to Vaishnava Siddhanta, we should not see the history of a Vaishnava. But they don't know that. And you cannot tell that. Then you can tell that in spite of all these things, till I am becoming a better person now, in spite of all these things. And I admit I was a bad person. Jagai Magai, they admitted. Correct? But this is the mercy of Krishna and Vaishnavas. If you take their shelter, your life will be changed. So that's why I'm coming to you and tell you. If I was like that, I would have enjoyed with you. But now my life has changed. I'm experiencing something better, which I didn't experience before. Correct? So I'm welcoming you. Why I'm trying to tell you, because I'm experiencing something which I didn't experience, and I don't want to continue that. I know it is bad, that's why I give it up. I may be bad, but there is always chance to become a good. Correct? Bad means it is not that I should always remain bad. If I know what is good, immediately I will accept it. Correct? You will not say, in the childhood, you were roaming around without clothes. Can you do that now? You're wearing clothes because you came to know. I'm grown up now, I have to wear clothes. So you tell him that both of us were wearing without clothes. Now we are wearing clothes, Which cannot be like child. No, you're grown up to understand what is better, what is bad. Let's admit, he said even Valyakoli, Valmiki, he was bad, So whoever comes to devotion, they are all bad before, except for some acharyas like Prabhupada or Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, like that. Everybody has a history. Right? All of us have that history. Right? But that is the chance, that is the compassion of a sadhu. It changes, transforms. That's why Prabhupada said, this is my miracle. They are all meat eaters, drunkards, woman hunters. Now they are simple Vaishnavas. This is my miracle. Correct? So this is the way. And the first thing is, if they become devotees, be surprised. Correct? If they are fortunate, see, everybody is coming with their own karmas. We are just delivering the mail of God. That's it. We have to accept that later or not. I cannot force anybody, right? So encourage them, give them prasadam, keep on talking, Don't, discourage them. Whatever they do, even if they give some donation, Best way to engage people, those who are well-wishers, give them prasad, take donation, So why I'm telling you, we made so many devotees by accepting donations. Why? They come to know where is my money going. Then they come to temple. They may not be here from you. They will be here from Satyasar Prabhu. No, because he's not relative. I don't know if he's relative, but I'm just giving an example. They will be from somebody else. Same thing we are telling. So take donation, give prasad. Keep relationship. Keep friends. Nobody is enemy of a devotee. Keep relationship. Well-wishers. Whatever they want. Right? Even if they criticize you, ऐसा था तू क्या बन गया साधु अभी, ठीक है ना? कम से कम साधु शब्द तो आ रहा है मुख से. Let them at least by see you they remember Hare Krishna. They will remember your past life, but they'll remember Hare Krishna also. So keep on giving them your darshan.
Thank you.
It will take some time. It may be immediate. I was the captain of a cricket team. 6 of my cricket mates became devotees. Still 5 are not, So I preached to them. I didn't do anything, something special. I just brought them to the temple and met Maharaj. They will become impressed and they became devotees. One of them is Govind Prabhu, if you know anything. Yeah. He's my cricket mate. No, of course, he was my neighbor. So you try. I tried like hundreds of my friends, but not that everybody became. Probably about 10 friends became devotees. But I know many people. They come. They call me actually. Just like recently, we have our college alumni, kind of just 2 years ago, right? All of us, those were 1975 batch. After that, everyone came together, and they asked me, what is your qualification? What you're doing now? I said, I'm preaching the science of soul. And they read my thing. Nobody understood what I'm doing. Everybody is a businessman, retired lawyer, retired bank manager. I'm a, science of soul. What is that? So they are all doing all the things. They had parties, means, they had all the things. But I got an opportunity. I gave a lecture on Bhagavad Gita. Even then, wherever you get opportunity, we should have simplicity and boldness to go and preach whatever. And that boldness will come depend upon our conviction. And that conviction will come depends upon how much you are practicing it. So that is why we try to practice in the association of devotees. Hare Krishna. So go on preaching. Hare Bol. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, you mentioned about preaching.
One minute, I remembered something. Who brought Prabhupada to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati? Narendra. He didn't become devotee. Correct? He brought the president of Bhakti and he preached to the whole world. So you don't know who you are talking to and, something like that. Correct? Yes.
Prabhu, you mentioned about the preaching in unfavorable situations. So when somebody does that way, what are the factors to, like you mentioned about not getting influenced. So how to be fixed in such circumstances and not get into their mindset or what their habits?
Yeah, I tried to explain that point. What is not getting influence? So you practice your sadhana and be strong in it. And they'll tell, "Arey, chalo, aaj bore ho gaya, movie jayenge, so party jayenge." It doesn't influence you. Correct? Because you have more stronger and more convinced lifestyle. Correct? That is not influence. They're talking about politics, you're not interested in. You give your vote, that's finished. Correct? Whoever feel, that's our duty as a citizen. You give your vote, whoever you want, whoever you see who is helping us to maintain our life and advance in spiritual life. You give vote to that person and you're done. You're not interested in any talks about what is politics, he is better, he is bad. Everybody is bad. If you take one side, there is another politician. He is also bad, he is also bad. Though the people I am voting is also bad. But what to do? Prabhupada says, in this world, you have to choose wet stool or dry stool. So at least be better with a dry stool, doesn't smell. Right? That's what this world is. Look at this world is like that. Right? But you fix in your. So the point is, don't waste your time in talking and doing and listening to what they say. You have perfect, Krishna Katha is there and all these things. Understand? So that is not getting influenced. Okay. Hare Krishna. Oh, there is no need of thank you, bro. Oh, summary is okay. I can also listen what I said because I don't know. I don't know what I said.
Let's give a big round of applause to Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. That was such a powerful and a heart-touching class. You gave so many instructions. I've just captured a few. So in this verse, Kapila Muni teaches how a devotee should be and what it means really to be a devotee. Bhagavad Gita gives the instructions and Bhagavatam gives devotees who practice these instructions. It's very important for us to read Bhagavatam every day, at least one verse a day. And in Bhagavatam class, you glorified so much about Bhagavatam and so much importance of it you gave us, Prabhu. That was so amazing. And at least 3 times a day, we should remember the instructions of Guru, which is always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And you also explained to us how we should eat simple food and easy to make food so that we don't spend so much of our time on preparing food and spend more time on spiritual life. And also same with the work. Our work should be such that it should be minimum, which is required for us to maintain ourselves, and with no stress. The key is simplicity. Simplicity is the most important. There should be no duplicity. Of course, reading Bhagavatam is extremely important. So is reading and chanting. And we are so fortunate that we have chanting and reading. And in any situation we can do that everywhere. And you shared such lovely examples, Prabhu, so relatable and something for us to incorporate. And finally, you said never give up association of devotees and be simple and straightforward. To be straightforward is to be clear in following the devotional practices. Simple food, simple clothes, no attachment to material things is something that we always have to remember. Thank you so much, Prabhu. We are so fortunate to hear from you today. Let us chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time for Prabhu's benefit. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu ki jai. Devotees, reminder, we have Prabhu's class, Bhagavad Gita class in the evening at 6:30 p.m.
Satyasar Prabhu wants me to talk about Tukaram Maharaj. And coincidentally, this is a time in India, especially in Maharashtra, the thousands of devotees are walking towards Pandharpur. It is called Wari. Right? So today and tomorrow we'll talk about Pandharpur and through the eyes of Tukaram.
Haribol. Thank you very much, Prabhu. In fact, I have 2 questions related to Tukaram Maharaj, which I'll ask in the evening.
Okay. You can ask now so that I can prepare.
We have
Sometimes devotee ask questions, they're very scholarly. I don't know everything, so I have to prepare for Hare Krishna.
So we have home program in Swarup Siddhi Prabhu and Yamuna Vilasini Mataji's house. So as Prabhu said, please don't miss. It's a very, very nice topic.